To customize Kaya, you will primarily use the Theme Customizer. You can access it by going to the front end of your website and clicking on Customize, or by going into the back end, going to Appearance, and then clicking on Customize here. There is a brief set of instructions here in the setup guide. These take you to the setup guide that you probably just came from. This is the GitHub project in the event you have found an actual error with the theme. And here is a section where you can type a couple of notes to yourself. First section for customizing is the site identity. You can enter the title of your website. And you'll notice that after you update a number of items here, they will update over here. You can upload a logo. You can turn on and off the title and tagline. You can upload your site icon. This is also frequently called the fave icon. This is used for both the small little fave icon symbol as well as for mobile symbols. Your general options. This allows you to set the width of the website. For example, let's say I wanted to make it a very narrow website. I could set the width down rather small. In order to actually see the width applied, you need to click on some of these options here. So it's now applied that very narrow 600 width to the title of the website. I can also apply it to the main content and apply it to the entire footer. The default width is 1140, so if I leave this blank, it will go back to that default width. Next thing is the sidebar settings. This allows you to set where you would like the sidebar to be for pages, for posts. You can choose whether comments are displayed on pages and whether comments are displayed on posts. Limit blog excerpt allows you to set how long you want your blog excerpt to be. For example, I just entered 10. This has now cut the blog excerpt down to only 10 words and then added a read more. If I were to increase it to 100, which is longer than the length of this post, you'll see that the whole post is displayed. Included with the theme is style sheet versioning to help bust the cache. That means that if you've created a child theme and you save the style.css file in the child theme, it will automatically version for you. In the event you need to do additional versioning, you can put a version number here. Most people will not need to. Google Analytics. You can enter your Google Analytics number. Again, it's only the UA followed by the number. If you have contact form 7 and you would like to have it automatically redirect for you, you can enter the URL here for the thank you page. These three sections are very useful if you have a call tracking or some other third-party tracking. Frequently you need to add code either just before the end of the header, at the beginning of the body, or at the end of the body. That's it for general options. The colors are right here. Here you can set the different colors. Let's say I want to have a yellow background for my header and a green background for the menu. Next, I would like the headings on the page to be blue. I would also like the text to be red, just because I can. Links to be purple. I'm just entering a couple of these colors for the heck of it, mostly. If you've got buttons showing on the page, you can set your button colors. If you want to set your footer background color, This is this top footer section. You can set the headings for your footer. You can set the lower footer section. And you can set the color for the lower footer. And if you've got your social icons filled out, you can set those colors as well. For your fonts, by default, it's got a number of font sizes set up for you. If you would like to change them, you just enter the values here. These are all pixel values. So if you wanted your heading 1 to be, let's say, 20, you would just enter 20, and that changes the size of a heading 1. If you would like to change the font, you can do so here. For example, I'll switch it to Georgia. That's a serif font. There's also a number of Google fonts already loaded. And then you can also set the font for your main text. If you want to use a custom Google font, you want to enter just the URL of the font here. Then you'll need to enter it for the heading and/or the regular text. Depends on whether you're using your custom font for the heading or if you're using it for the regular text, or you could be using it for both. So it would be just the name entered in either of those two locations. Next we have some header options. This will determine how many columns your header is. If you want your header to be sticky, if you check to make the header transparent, you'll notice that the color of the header has disappeared. You can use a top bar that will add another section on top. And you can hide your mobile menu. This is useful if you are using a third-party menu plugin. Next up is your menus. This is just standard WordPress menu management. Widgets, again, standard WordPress menu management. Social media URLs. If you enter a URL here, which I'm just going to enter a placeholder URL, then it will be saved for use in the theme. This can be added to the footer or it can be added to the sidebar. Static front page. This is just a standard WordPress setting for whether you want your latest posts or a static front page. Footer settings. If you want to show those social media icons, it'll show them here. You can also set how many columns, if you want to show the footer columns, if you want to apply the grid to them. And you can also change the credit information in the lower right to something else. 404 error page. It's useful to have a 404 error page. So you can give the page title, you can enter page content. This does support basic HTML markups such as headings, paragraphs, bold, italics. You can also increase the size of it by just dragging this down. And it's got some SEO options for you. This includes schema markup. There's a lot that can be said about schema markup, so I'm just going to quickly cover it. For the type, click on this link and find the appropriate type. If you were a dentist, you would just write dentist here. If you need an additional type, you can add that. If you want to use a name other than the title of your website, you can put that here. Add a short description. This will frequently be similar to the meta description on your homepage. Enter your street address, your locality, your region, your postal code, country. Enter your Google Maps URL, latitude, longitude for your location, your phone number, open hours, a second option for open hours. If you've got reviews out there, for example on Google, enter your average review value and how many reviews you have. And finally, the standard additional CSS, which is available with WordPress. If you just want to make a couple CSS changes to the site and don't really want to customize anything else, then you don't need a child theme. You can just add your own custom CSS right here. If you're all happy and you like it, click on Save and Publish. If you don't like your changes, just click on the X. It'll ask you, are you really sure you want to do that? Click Leave Page, and it won't have saved anything.